Coming up tonight, Prime Minister to announce details of constitutional consultations. PM emphasizes sense of urgency in reconstruction works and plans to further commercialize government quarters. Good evening, I'm Sandra Arsan. Details of the constitutional consultations and the work of the Constitutional Commission will be announced by the Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama at the end of this month.
As the country awaits the implementation of a new constitution, Head of State Vorenge Bainimarama, who is currently in the Western Division visiting flood-affected areas, is expected to provide details regarding the time frame and methodology of the constitutional consultation process, followed by the composition of a constitutional commission in the fourth week of February. It is anticipated that due to the recent flooding, some Fijians will not be able to participate in the process. However, the Prime Minister looks forward to the commencement of this important process once Fijians have recovered from the recent natural disaster. The Bainimarama government is beyond the timeline of this process, which was identified in the Strategic Framework for Change leading to the parliamentary elections. The government has selected Code Inc. from Canada to carry out the electronic voter registration. Code Inc. is expected in the country next month. And a political United Nations needs assessment mission has been welcomed by the government to assess the technical requirements for the parliamentary elections. The mission is expected in the country next month.
Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama has stressed to officials in the Western Division to incorporate a sense of urgency in the reconstruction and rehabilitation works carried out since the recent flooding. Whilst touring the Western Division and seeing first-hand damages caused by nature and relief work carried out, the Prime Minister also met with officials involved with the relief efforts and commended them for their response and works currently being carried out.
The Prime Minister commended the work carried out so far by all officials. He emphasized the need to work with greater sense of urgency, knowing that the relief will bring back normalcy to the lives of people and communities that have been affected by floods. Communities that the head of government visited expressed their appreciation towards his visit. Similar sentiments were aired at both Lomowai and Navisambi village in Sigatoka, which included calls for further river dredging and assistance to clean up the village.
Lomani madawani liu, may lubukin na lomani korongo. Singa ni lubuke desar toritonga ndono na lolo virar sama lubukina. Chini kauno tau dona vale. Apaka bina ngabona turanga nirsa pangalal tekimena loni koro. Mersa tukimena indonro ko sawaru takana matuveir.
Lomowai villagers have asked for relocation to a new land given that they have been bad hit by the floods. Villagers highlighted that one of their concerns included flooding during low tide, which was something they experienced for the first time. The Prime Minister has instructed the Commissioner Western and official from the Department of Works and Agriculture Ministries to look into the matter and conduct an assessment for river dredging. Yesterday, he visited Ratu Elisa Memorial School in Sigatoka to assess firsthand the problems encountered by students following recent flooding in most parts of the Western Division.
The Fiji National Provident Fund has also been set up at the District Officer's Office in Sigatoka to facilitate for urgent welfare needs of those badly affected. In his tour of affected areas, the Prime Minister has also instructed officers on the ground to do a thorough survey of people who may take advantage of the situation.
The Prime Minister has instructed the Lands Ministry and FNPF to conduct proper screening of assistance to those families affected by the floods. A further 20-minute drive along the Queen's Highway to the village of Mbavu, where an access road, which is also being used by Fiji Pine, was partly destroyed by days of continuous rain and flooding. PM Bainimarama has also instructed the Works Ministry to put together the necessary plans to ensure that the villagers have access to the main road, since school children have also been affected by the landslide. In Nandi, the team inspected flood-affected areas near the Nawaka Back Road, which was under 10 feet of water 2 weeks ago, forcing vehicles to remain stranded in Nandi town for several days.
Yeah, we are now at Nawachikuma Junction, at the back road. This has been a problem over the years. It is again a drainage problem, and there must be some problem also with the culvert sizes, because what we are told is the culvert sizes on this end of Nawachikuma is smaller than the culvert size at the other end of the road. So this catchment collects a lot of water from a bigger area around the Nawaka area. Up in the Nawaka village up there, there's a big lake, and there's quite a lot of water there. So during heavy rainfall, all this water is coming down this drain and going across this Nawachikuma culvert and across the road. And again, it goes right down to link with a bypass road that links to the back road to the bus station and across again the road. So it's quite a lot of water traveling through again an undersized culvert, and that has also created a lot of problem to the settlements and the communities that are living here. Just because of the backflow, they are suffering all over these years. It's normalized as for Nandi. We have completed some major drainage cleanup around the town area, and right now we are working on organizing some machines to excavate some of these major drains, which are just lying beside the town boundary, and which was looked after by FSC or drainage board. But we will try and address that, because even those ones we need to continually upgrade, because heavy rainfall, these drains are also blocked and filled up and creating flooding in part of our residential areas in Nandi. So that is again another major work. We presented our report. We submitted it to the Commissioner's office, who will be submitting it to the Prime Minister's office for their discussions, and we hope we will get some help from government.
Mr. Tuindraki confirmed that rehabilitation work for Nandi has been progressing. The prolonged heavy rainfall over the past 3 weeks had also washed down huge tree trunks and debris. Some seen here are posing a threat and risk to members of the community in Saru, some 5 kilometers from Lautoka. At Naviango village, the story was almost the same, with destruction to both farm crops, homes and infrastructure visible. The only bridge that linked the village to neighboring Naviango was completely destroyed, with accessibility only by kayaking. At neighboring Matawalo village, heavy flooding resulted in wet mud piles, creating health risks to the villagers, as the Prime Minister witnessed firsthand the aftermath of nature's wrath as villagers struggled to bring some form of normalcy to what has been an ordeal they will all remember for a long time.
Coming up after the break, new code of conduct for PSV drivers, and flood appeal assistance continues to pour in.